Let's continue with our focus on the cost of living for residents as local government elections draw closer. And look now at some of the prices that are rising, right, faced by consumers. Devan Murugan is with the eNCA Money Desk and joins us in studio now. So, Devan, you are zoning in on these administered prices for the Johannesburg Metro.
Yeah, and I think it's important. It's on everyone's mind as we are approaching, like you said, the local government elections. And it's one thing to be frustrated with the lack of delivery and the lack of services, right? It's another thing to consider how much some of these basic services have actually risen over the past few years. So frustration over the local election, of course, will determine or will be affected by those price rises. You have basic services which are hard to come by in recent years. But what we thought we'll do is we'll just focus on what happened in the Johannesburg area over the last 10 or 11 years or so. And here you go, postpaid electricity. Let's start with that, Clement. 394%. Now, it's obvious that electricity prices were sky high over recent months, but when you compare it to 2008, you kind of see just how much consumers have been taking out of their pockets, right? We flip over and we look at some of the other key elements. Sewer, 267%. That's the price hike from 2008. And then look at your water bills. It's not just electricity, by the way, Clement. Look at your water price rises since 2008, 288%. If you are in the rental space and you're paying rent, 111% on rates. So with that comes an expectation that your service and your delivery would meet the amount of money you are paying. Yeah. Whether or not it's come through, I think you've seen some service delivery protests. I'm sure you've seen arguments against some of the councillors. It's not really the case. Yeah,
so to what extent have basic wages and salaries increased during that time?
That's an important question because, of course, prices have to rise. There's no doubt about that. But is it rising way above inflation? And that's the housing. Oh, it's flipped away now. But on there was your average rate of income that a household experiences. And when we flip over to the next chart, you'll see that it is way above your inflation rate. So in other words, you're earning some money, but if you look at what these price rises are coming through and what you're confronted with, it's way above that last element, which you will see in a moment now. That's the household income. And by the way, this was sourced from the Johannesburg Property Owners and Management Association. There you go, 109%. That's your household income. That's how much it has risen by since 2008. Compare that to, for example, your water costs. 288%. It doesn't really tally, does it, Clement?
Yeah, it doesn't. Devan, thank you so much for bringing us and crunching those numbers for us.